I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X, you cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dream.
Good morning, clubbers. Welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Club. It's a fantastic Friday in the Isle of Spice. And I hope you're feeling the energy. I hope you're grateful for the gift of life, for good health, for all the great things that are happening to you. I hope you're grateful for the lessons. I hope you're grateful for the blessings. Whatever you're going through, I want to remind you this morning, because not everybody does be super excited. Sometimes you have health issues. Sometimes something ain't going right in your life. I want to remind you that God got you. Okay? If it's the one thing you take away this morning, however you're feeling, you might be energized, you might be feeling a little low. I want you to know that God's got you. Okay? The fact that he wake you up this morning, which means that he's not done with you. Listen, we have a fantastic show this morning in store for you. We said, Carnival is in the air, so we're going to be featuring new artists, up-and-coming artists. We're going to be featuring some of the big wigs as well, the mass bands, all the creatives, as we build up to the Carnival season. So this morning, I'm going to be featuring my girl, Clemelin Noel, a.k.a. Sobriquet, Miss Coco. We're going to be chatting about her life. We're going to be chatting about her journey. We're going to be chatting about new music, and who she is as a Grenadian woman. But let me tell you something. I started to talk about the Spice Mass, and I haven't talked about what irked me in a while, but let me tell you what has irked me. We all get up. We all excited for Spice Mass. Spice Mass happens every year. We know that in August. Okay, and I understand it, A Spice Mass is when we just release ourselves, okay? And I ain't talking slavery, but sometimes we slave to a bad job, we slave to a bad relationship, we slave to the burden of being a parent, we slave to the burden of being a spouse, we slave to so many different things. That Carnival is the time that we just free up and emancipate ourselves. So I understand the love and the energy towards Spice Mass, but you want to know something? We are also a country that is in the hurricane belt, okay? And with the hurricane season scheduled to start less than 2 weeks from now, I find we doesn't talk about that enough. We don't talk about it at all, okay? All we talking about is jump and wave and wind down on the ground. And as we culture, we have to talk about that too. But we are a country that in recent times have been hit by hurricanes. And with 2 weeks away from the hurricane season, I hear nobody talking about it. When we go talk about it? When we hear something coming off the coast of Africa, and we look at the trajectory and we see that it's coming down our way, when we know it has come our way every year, that is when we go start to talk about it, okay? We minding everybody business, but we own business. So as I said on a little Facebook post I posted last week, okay, nothing wrong to winding down to the soca, nothing wrong to twerking down to the ground, but make sure you're doing it in the supermarket where you're picking up your vital supplies, okay? Carnival happens every year, and the hurricane season happens every year, okay? And the road we winding on is good, but the hurricane road is also in our direction. So I want to encourage all you to pay attention and to mind all your business. Okay, you don't have to do everything one time. You could buy 2 candles this week. You could buy a little few canned products or dry product. You got to do what you got to do. Mind your business. We already start to see some bad weather. I don't know if all you're paying attention, but I want to encourage you to pay attention today. 8 weeks away from Spice Mass, 2 weeks away from the start of the hurricane season. Mind all your business. Now listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our interview with Clemelyn Noel, Miss Coco. We're going to talk about her life journey, her new music, and we're going to talk about much more. We'll be right back.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Welcome back, folk. And of course, you know, I always just talk about appreciation. I want to send appreciation to the people that are logged in. I know you have a choice. You could be doing something else, but you're on the Ride Along Network and you're looking at the Wake Up Club. I want to say a special good morning to Deslin David, to Roderick Thomas, to Lydia Louison, to Maria Williams, to Rhonda Spencer Thomas, to Brenda S. McNeely Julian. All the clubbers that are tuned in, we appreciate you. Make sure you share the program so other people can also see the program. We appreciate you taking your time. We appreciate you. Good morning to all the clubbers out there and all the riders out there. We appreciate you tuning in every time that you get that notice that we're coming live. We really appreciate you. Now, this morning, I'm going to be speaking with a woman who has done everything as far as I'm concerned. And so you don't have to be a celebrity, a superstar, you know. Sometimes in your own right, you're a Grenadian doing great things or challenging yourself or moving from different things. You know, now I have known Miss Noel for many years. She's done many things with her life. She's mother, she's influencer, she's dancer, she's model. She recently entered the world of Calypso and Soca Groovy. So I want to hear her story. Clemelyn, welcome to the Wake Up Club.
And thank you for having me.
Morning. I know I wake you up early, but you know, rise and shine. You know, the early bird gets the worm. Listen,
That's
Clemelyn,
right.
you know, you've worn many hats, influencer, all these different things. But my first question to most of my guests is, you know, tell me in your own words, who is Clemelyn Noel? Where you're from, your background. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, Clemelyn Noel is, my name is Clemelyn Noel. So I'm from Frequency. I was originally born in St. David's, but I grew up all my life, in this community here in Frequency. As you said, I've done a lot in terms of, I always like to, showcase my talent. I've started with singing, I've started with dancing, I've been modeling. I've done a lot of things in my life already that I would say that I am proud of and continuing to learn from as well. There's a lot you need to know about Miss Coco and Clemelyn at the same time, but I consider these two people as two different persons. Clemelyn is just normal Clemelyn, but Miss Coco is a total different person, just entertainment wise. So when you talk about Clemelyn, you talk about the mother side, you talk about being humble, you talk about just being myself.
Tell me about the mother side, because that's your biggest and most important role.
Exactly. So
even though you're a social media influencer, you're influencing first and foremost the minds of young children. So tell me about mother and you. Mm-hmm.
Right. So as a mother, it's very challenging, but you have to always be strong, because as a mother, you cannot be someone who's weak. Because I'm dealing with a whole teenager, and that is not easy. But growing up, I try my best to show good role models, portray myself as a good person for my daughter, for other persons, because I also persons look up to me, because you'd be so surprised. You're going out the road And person will be like, Miss Coco, Cleveland, I'm really impressed by the things that you do. You know, like I like to see you sing and I like to see you dance. Don't give up, you know, this kind of thing. So these are the things that motivate me. And as a mother, I want to show good roles as a role model. I want to make sure that, you know, I don't put out too much out there, but sometimes it seems as that because people think different and they see you different. But that is something I don't let, you know, how they would say, bother me or make it be, you know, a thing that would affect me, you know. But I always try to be on the positive side. Basically, that's what I do. You know, that I just try to be on the positive side. I try to stay humble. I try to do what I do best, and you know, be the better version of myself every time. Because
Listen,
every
that's
time you
very
learn.
important. I think a lot of people don't understand that, you know, we're all ambassadors in our own right because we influence the people around us and not necessarily only our children, but the people in our community. So, you know, sometimes we only share the spotlights on the people we perceive to be the stars, but there are stars within all of us. Now, I've got to talk to you. I just mentioned being an ambassador for your children and people in your community. But
Right.
Birdie told me, my good girlfriend Lois told me that you also represented Grenada in China. I don't know the background story, but tell us about that as well, please.
Oh, I did. I actually represented Grenada on two occasions. The first time in China, I went for food safety with agriculture. That was out of its world for itself. But I can tell you, every trip to China is like a different. It's like a different experience altogether. So the first trip was basically about safety and how to handle food and all these good stuff. So they take you around to different sites and also interact with people who really, you know, deal with food internationally. So we get to, you know, explore the different industries and this kind of thing, different sightseeing. The first time I ever went to the Great Wall, and I actually made it to the top because I wasn't gonna give up. That's me. The second time was for pollution free tea because I was embarking on natural stuff like making natural teas and stuff. But that has been a hold back because I'm juggling work, I'm juggling, as I said, music, family, motherhood, and all these things. So it's kind of on a setback. But that was the main reason why I did the pollution free tea to go and experience it and know exactly what the process are, but something totally different. Like how they would, you know, how they would dry the tea, how they would fixation. It's a lot of things to learn because they, you know, they categorize the teas. You know, for the pollution tea, they categorize tea. So they have the oolong tea, we have the black tea, we have the yellow tea. We were basically able to explore at least, I think, was seven teas, but one of the teas that we wasn't able to experience, I think, was the yellow tea because of the time, the season that we was in. But it was really out of this world, and I was the only person who represent for that program. And at the end, I had to do like a cultural farewell. So I had to like sing and also dance. And I decided to sing the Grenada 50th team song. And I did a little choreograph that I made up. But all in all, I was really loved by the people. They really enjoyed it. They want to come to Grenada. They love my performance. I felt like a whole celebrity all again in China. Every time like I go to China, it's like a whole different experience. And I never feel like I've been discriminated or anything. It's just all love. And I feel like I'm doing a good job because I'm representing my country on a whole. And that's what's most important to me. I mean, like, it's like, wow, you know, the feedback that you get outside compared to home, it's like, oh,
Okay.
I wish I could get more of that.
We got to touch on that because you ventured into a new world. You ventured into calypso. You ventured into soca. You know, a little slower, be groovy. Tell me about that journey into music and your
Wow.
reception so far.
Whoa. So music, as I tell you, well, you see, music started in me from since I'm a child, because I could tell you my whole family background from my father's side is like musicians. They grounded in that. My aunts, my sisters, they all like in the background of music, from the choir come right up. I don't know if you know um, Auntie Rutina. She's been doing this thing for a long time with the Catholic and so on. And background is like, church wise and all these things. My father, he's been, he used to run a band in his time as well, but he passed. Uh, so my background on a whole with the music thing, it's been in me. But me personally, I've been singing for since I've known myself, dancing, entertaining. That's what I do. I love that. I don't stop that. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just something with
so singing in the shower and singing in the church and then singing on the
all the
level
side
that
of
you
it.
have ventured now is a whole different thing. Tell us
Correct.
about the journey, and we're going to take a little taste of some of your music. You've got 4 songs out. We don't have time for 4. We're going to be hearing about Hold It Down, and we're going to be hearing about Dark Chocolate. But tell me
Right.
about your journey.
Right. So as I stated, so when how would I start it? First of all, when I started, I would say like Digital Rising Star in 2004. I was selected like the top 10 out of the top 10. And I think from there, people kind of realized that I was, the music started with me from there. That's when I think I was recognized as open to knowing who is Clemelin musically. Right. Then from that, people been calling, people been asking, what you're doing otherwise. So I've joined the band. I've been with the Illusion Band for quite some time. I've been with Smokey and them other guys. Them I used to be around them for a while, quite a while, singing all about like in different hotels, events and so on. But that stopped after I started working. I got pregnant, so I kind of hold up on that, and then I just continue with work, being a mother, and then some people was like, why you stop singing? I don't see anymore. What happened? I said, well, the band, had hold up. They was trying to see if they could get it back. That didn't work out. So I decided, well, it's time for me to take a next step. It's time to try and put my music out, try to get it. Like I hear music on the radio. I think, well, I will need to get my voice on the radio as well. So how I started personally, Mr. Kirk, there was this guy who was doing music, but he was not like professionally music. So there was this rhythm that he gave me. When he gave me the rhythm, I sang on it, but it was not like I recorded in a recorded studio. I recorded like from my phone. And then I gave him the vocals, and he attached it to our music, rhythm or whatever you put it. But it was not like a professionally done thing. But to me, like that was like something, because that is the first start. So that was back in 2009, because that's when I first put out like trying to get music out there. When I originally started to record music, that was in 2016. This is where I started with Feeling to Dance. So that was the first song that I done, which was a groovy. And from there, I just continued singing and trying to, work on those things, taking classes, doing, different things to try to boost the music part of me, like taking voice lessons. I was even selected back in 2018 for the workshop, Barbados musical workshop, where I got to meet Michael Ibu. That was the CEO of Third World. He tutored us for like 2 weeks, teaching us about music technique, understanding the music role, how to get your music on platform, to register your stuff, to understand the music business and all these stuff. So that was a open eye for me from that point of view. And there was not only me at that time. It was me. I think it was Ron, Akeem, and I think was another instrument player that time. So yeah, that was something very interesting from there. And I just, continue with the music. Before I used to like dance for different artists and so on different stage and so on. I even used to model for Junior too, you know.
Yeah, but listen,
For,
I know that. I know
yeah,
that. I
so
remember that. But listen, you know what?
right,
I want to commend you. You know why I want to commend you? Because there are a lot of artists who have this natural talent, but they don't necessarily grasp the opportunities to grow that talent, to improve that talent, or to get the help needed. So I want to commend you first of all about that, because definitely you're passionate about your craft. You just don't think you're a singer. You know, some of us are blessed with voices. You just don't think you're a singer. You have found the resources to hone your craft. Now, listen, we're going to take a little taste of Hold It Down. So people can hear Hold It Down. Then we're going to come back and talk about how Hold It Down came about, you know, who you've partnered with, and then we're
very
going to take a
interesting.
taste of Dark Chocolate. So we're going to take a taste of Hold It Down right now, and then when we come back, we're going to dive into Dark Chocolate.
Uno, dos.
Yo, justice. Bro, that one gonna sell off like hot bread and butter. We talk about current soul in our back. Yo, Coco, how we just do it? We gonna do it.
Yeah, do it wet.
Now we gonna get drunk. Hold it on.
Hold it
I
down.
want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on. Yeah, better hold it on. I want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on.
Hey, right now I cannot take it, I cannot hold it. The fire hot, I come to blaze it, blaze it. We getting on mad soca in the spirit. Watch this flames, alright.
Hold it on. I want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on. Yeah, better hold it on. I want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on. The rum I sipping that. Watch me in my class. The Marcus and the Hennessy. I sipping that when they see me under my booze. I hitting that rum like merry go rum. After dark. Hold it on, I want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on. Yeah, better hold it on. I want you hold it on. With the rum in me head and rum in me glass, I want you hold it on.
This one do normal, this one do basic. We come out unique, so watch the jab tricks. Hold it on.
Okay, Cleberlin. Miss Coco, tell me about that. Tell me about that partnership. Who's the gentleman on the track with you, and tell me how that came about.
Right. So many people may not know, but the gentleman on the track is my brother, my blood brother. That is 250. How we come about the song? It's really simple, you know, Kirk. If you know, the night we were just home, we were just fooling around more or less, and I think mom come home and she was like, we were just making my way to her and telling her, we have a new song out, but hold it on, we go hold it. we have a new song, but hold it on, we gonna drop it tomorrow. So we just make it stupid, and we was like, but hey, 250, we should write a song on that. Let me do something. So we was just like, hold it on, and we just was putting things together. It was not like even how we were saying it there. And then mommy was like, I said, Mom, what you bring for us, Yana? She bring up some stuff for us. So we like, she like, well, hold it on. So from that, when she gave us this thing about hold it on, we say, well, nah, we go put our song to that. We just come up, hold it on. I want you to hold it on. And then we just put things together, and that was us. I don't know. It was just like easy like that. From our mom coming home.
Listen, you see, your brother's name is 250. Is he also in the music industry?
He is. Isaiah Noel. He's also in the music industry. Yes, he is.
Is he, you know, first time I'm hearing about it, you know,
right.
Is it Super K 250? Does he do calypso? Does he do soca?
Well, what he does is soca and a little dancehall. He more up tempo. And personally, me, I'm not so up tempo, but everybody say that I'm a person that fit up tempo music. So we just tried out really, and that was it. And it's working. People like it, and we get a good vibes. And I think we're gonna put a video to it. So we're waiting on that. Yeah.
That'll be interesting. So let's take a taste of Dark Chocolate. I really like Dark Chocolate because you really the feature on Dark Chocolate. Let's hear Dark Chocolate.
Yeah. All right, no problem.
Listen. again. They calling me Coco. I'm a broken lady, full up of your energy that will make you lose sanity. They calling me Coco. I'm so addictive. They try to ban me from entering everybody. They calling me dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, all the man them craving it. They want a taste of it. They calling me dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, all the man them addicted. They can't get over it. They calling me Coco. I'm a brown skin lady, full up of pure energy. I'm natural and sweet. Coco, Coco, Coco. That's how they call me. Coco. I'll captivate your mind and soul. Leave you balling out for more. Till happy is like having gold. Shouting out to the world. They calling me Coco. I'm a brown skin lady, full up of pure energy that will make you lose sanity. They calling me Coco. I'm so addicted. They try to ban me from entering every party. They calling me dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, all the man them craving it. They want a taste of it. They calling me dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, all the man them addicted. They can't get over it. They calling me Coco. I'm a brown skin lady, full up of your energy. I'm natural and sweet. Coco, Coco, Coco. That's how they call me. Coco. Pure chocolate flavor to cater to you, the original Coco Grenadian diva. I got the drive.
Definitely the original Coco Diva. I want to congratulate you on that. Your great song. I also, want to say that we're honored that I know you're launching the song today in Grenada. So we're happy that you were able for us to be able to launch it more or less unofficially for you. Tell us about Dark Chocolate and where that came from, the people you've worked with, the studio, and so forth. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you.
Sorry. Yeah, so dark chocolate come about from Super D. I met this guy. He was just looking for persons to work with, and apparently, one of the artists linked him to me. That was Jermaine Simon, and he just basically looked at me on a picture on my Facebook, and the man come up with a song for Miss Coco. And he brought it to me, give me the idea. The part where I'm singing the rap part, I put in, the kind of jumpy part. I put in that part, and we worked together, and we put the song together, and that was it. Yeah, it's a new person that I'm working with right now that I met during this journey this year. So yeah.
Now, listen, this is somebody that reached out to you. Who have been the musical influences in Grenada that you've looked up to, as a woman? Because we're dominated by male figures in the music industry, but who have been the people that you have influenced your music?
Who have influenced my music, like in Grenada, you said, right?
Yeah.
I would have to say I really like Akeem music, personally speaking. I like Akeem music. I like Valine. Who else? Temptress have a different vibes, a different flow. Lava Man. Even my brother 250, he just have a different flow. And I think my flow also is a different. So I look up, these are the people I really like, really excited to hear about, in terms of music. Even what's his name? Jab King. Jab King have a different flow altogether with, this kind of chanting. Yeah.
You like that unique flair. You like that unique flair.
Exactly. Correct.
Yeah. Now, definitely, I'm going to tell you, you have the voice. Not only do you have the voice, you have the right attitude and understanding that you need to hone your craft. So you're definitely the person that I see, and based on your testimony, someone who's always looking for those opportunities to better yourself. So I see a long career for you in this. But I've got to ask you, you're a mother, you're working full time, you're trying to get into the music. What are the challenges you face?
Wow, a lot of challenges. Sometimes I feel like I'm not being recognized as I should. I think most of the time, what I hear, Kirk, is that you got potential,
Mhm.
and you don't find like people really pushing you towards that potential that they speak about. Yeah, you have the potential. Another thing, in terms of singing on rhythms, that has been a challenge because I feel like every time they think about putting Miss Coco on a rhythm, it's all about the big guns or who has the better, the more followers, or these kind of things. I feel like this is something that has been holding down this whole industry thing for a while now, and I feel
Mhm.
like that is something I feel like always been a problem. Another thing, I think it's really hard for women on a whole trying to be in the music industry, putting in the work and still not being appreciated by it. But me personally, I just keep on going. To be honest, I know someday it doesn't have to be now, but I know someday, eventually, my music will get there, or whatever I do would recognize itself. Now, that's just some of the I think obstacles I would say because I've got it a lot through this journey and it's still happening all now.
Mhm.
Um
Tell me about
sponsors
that.
sponsors and another thing, performance is like I put in it all this music, I put in it all this work, I spend all this money, and yet you can't get yourself on a good stage to really perform it. Maybe I might do outdoor events. Yes,
Mhm.
I get that. But you see, like to go on a stage, maybe all this thing happening, carnival happening, um, shows happening. You can't get to say, well, put on Miss Coco. Not even, I don't even matter if I get paid about it. And that's how I see myself just, making sure that my music gets up. I don't even, like them kind of way they. It's just a matter of, getting that exposure and so on. Yeah.
Mhm.
So these are some of the things I would say as challenge as
Mhm.
a female in the music, getting into the music, um, being a part of the music, the industry on a whole. I think they need to work a little harder. The
Mhm.
people who is in the arena of that, like coming up now, you hear people talking about no, it's not the time to be doing programs for artists when this is upcoming. I mean, carnival is about this time. Look, you, Mr. Cook, I think this is a really good thing that you're doing. Keep it up, because
Mhm.
they're not even taking the initiative to start doing something like that. So I get that they don't want to do interview right now because of this and that. And yeah, so I really applaud you for that. And this is some things that they need to work on, like coming up right now.
Well, let me let you in on a little secret, Miss Coco. Okay,
I think
you're
I'll have to
happy.
change my phone. I find this
You're
online.
happy. You're happening. Your
Mhm.
music is being launched today. You've taken that step, and you're in the right direction. I
Correct.
know that. I hope that you reach out to Spice Mass. I think they're going to be doing Carnival City, but Carnival City is sometimes the right avenue. Um, and I hope that they will find avenues to feature a lot of the new and upcoming artists. Sometimes we focus on the big wigs, but the big wigs were up and coming at a certain point in time. So I hope that those avenues are there for you, and I hope that you will be. We're not hearing you. I hope that you will be greedy enough,
Mhm.
you know, to
You hear
to
me
to,
now?
to reach out to these people, call Spice Mass, ask them for the opportunities, share your music. You know,
Right.
uh, what has been the response you've been getting from the radio stations? Have you sent
That is
music?
another thing. That is
Uh,
another thing, Kirk. You hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yes, you're right. That is another thing. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, I've been in the past, like I've been getting a lot of like interviews before, I would say. I don't know for now, but
Mhm.
before I used to get little interviews, Boss FM, GBN, I will call them because I remember the radio station that really had supported me then, you know. But for now, I don't know what's really happened. But I can tell you, there's a drop somewhere, you know, in terms of upcoming artists, in terms of who they consider as big artists and who they consider as middle artists. I can tell you that. I don't know. I'm speaking straight off my head. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking real talk here. Now, I haven't got any interviews in terms of radio station as yet. As I tell you, you're the first, and also the first to hear all my music on the radio station. I've heard persons say that they heard some of them already on the radio station. I don't really listen to radio station. I don't even have time to listen to radio station, but I will try my best sometime to pop in, listen on the air, you know, and, you know, see. But that's something I don't get a lot as well. My music playing on the different radio stations, and I think that's something that they need to also work on. If there's a show that maybe bringing out 2 new songs, let me know what the new songs are for the day, in the week, something.
Listen, as you know, Alexandra Velez says, girl, you've just got to keep doing. So I want to encourage you to keep pushing. Listen, sometimes you have to knock the door every year, you know.
Yeah.
You have to knock the door. So you have to show up on the radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to show out. You've got
well,
to.
that is what I realized, Mr. Kirk. So I've been trying to do the groundwork and walking in. I'm walking in because sitting down and sending a WhatsApp is like they're reading it. They're not bothering with you. And I noticed another thing too, you know, you're going to the radio station, you're giving them your music. On the day of the day, you give them the music, they will tell you to play. They might play it for you to hear it. But when you go, what happening after that?
Listen, we understand that. I go encourage you, okay? The same way as a parent, you sometimes have to tell your children to brush their teeth every day. If you want this, you have to stick to it, and you have to make sure. It is tough, I understand that, because you don't want to be begging, okay?
It's true.
You don't want to be at the mercy of other people, but sometimes you have to. You have to stoop to conquer. So if it means you're going to the radio stations, you're showing up when it have a little, when you know they have that fete where they had the big artists on, you show up. Because let me tell you something, the bigger artists will support you, you know. And so they will encourage them to give you a little play. I just want you to stick with it.
I would love that.
You definitely have the talent, okay? You understand the hurdles, you understand all of that. You've got to stick with it. You know, I see a potential, okay? There are a lot of female artists out there that really and truly they're fighting with the vocals, okay? But they're a personality, okay? You have the vocals and the personality. Okay, the total package. So I want to encourage you to stick with this, you know, keep pushing forward. You know, you go, as Marilyn Benjamin said, one thing I've learned is to keep pushing. You might get 99 closed doors, but you're going to find one open.
That is exactly how I think every day. Like, Mr. Kirk, like, I don't let nothing try to bother me in this in this arena. I can say, like, I find I went hell and back already. So I find like I don't let nobody, nothing. I'm not trying to let nothing distract me. I think I've come a long way. I've gained a lot of support. And I think there are a lot of people out there who really wants to hear me, who's asking for my music. Kirk, let me tell you something. I just be so surprised, as I tell you, walking the streets and people coming up to me like, Miss Coco, where is your music? And me in my head, I doing all this music. Why you not hearing my music? Miss Coco, where's your music, Miss Coco? But sometimes some of them just lying to me because the music doesn't be putting it all around the media. But I bet that they just want to hear more of it.
But they've recognized you and they've recognized your impact. And you want to know what your impact is? Let me give you a little taste of your impact. Remember when we started this interview, I asked you who were some of the people that inspired and influenced you, and you said Akeem. Akeem is on the program right now, and he says Miss Coco is a stage boss. He wants you to keep working on your craft and keep marketing it, keep trying your best to perform it, and you are on the right track. So let me tell you something. If your idol, the person that you think is one of the greatest artists to you, says to you right here on this platform, you're on the right track.
It's amazing.
Right track.
Thank you,
also
Mr. Kirk.
mentioned marketing because you know a lot of us have that tool in the palm of our hands. And I know you're an influencer, you're always on social media.
Yeah, I always try to push
Tell
my
me,
stuff.
you know, I've got to ask you about that role as an influencer and hoping that you will utilize that because you speak about everything else. I hope that you will utilize yourself and the social media platforms to
Yes,
market your own music. So I expect to see it all over today.
you're
Tell me
right.
about Coco.
Mr. Kirk, I don't, like some people, I don't really wait on people to push my stuff because at the end of the day, you're making algorithm. So it starts from you. At the end of the day, when your network builds, it's come back to who you are and the person who's been pushing it behind that stuff. Now, as we were talking about Akeem has a rhythm that's called The Flower in the Concrete. It's going to be released on the 29th of this month. I am also one of the artists on the rhythm. As just making mention of this, but it's all reggae music and it's really nice. So guys, look out for that, Flower in the Concrete. That's another rhythm that I'm on. I tell you, I have real music work being worked on, and music that is in the process. And furthermore, Mr. Kirk, I don't want to stop here. Like music, I feel like music, I can just explore. But there will be a point in time that you may just find your niche where you really want to settle. But for me, right about now, there's no limits where music is concerned, being a parent, as I say, I always try my best to talk to my daughter and understand where she's coming from because children today is not the children like yesterday or before and the ones before us. Mr. Kirk, the children today is totally different. And I, as a parent, as you call me, an influencer, as all these things together, it's not really easy, but I try my best to stay focused and also to be a good role model, for my daughter and other children. Because like I tell you, I go to work and there's this children passing and they Miss Tota, I love your music. And I don't know the children, but you have to be welcoming, like you can't be like, what? Welcoming. So I tell you, like I've influenced some people on a whole. I know that for sure. With my music, with my videos. As I say, I don't wait on people to push my thing because if I wait on people, maybe it might not reach where it is today and I would not be where I am today. So thank God for me pushing myself as well.
And that is the right attitude. That determination must be there. Now I've got to ask you this question. The Spice Mass season is approaching. Any plans of entering any of the competitions because you've got great music?
Mr. Kirk, I want to enter all.
You want to enter all?
Well, I have Groovy. I have Calypso because I tell you, I've been working in the Calypso arena with the Northwest tent. So I'm working on that. I already have my songs. It's just a matter of them getting practice and my scores up to date and so on. But yeah, I'm trying my best to get into the Calypso for sure. The Groovy. I know you play Dark Chocolate, but I also have Walk Inside, and that song has been doing a really good job. I have to say it's a new. I've been working with Steve Tierro's son. That's Justice. Well, also known as Jason Tierro. So they came up with the idea for Walk Inside, the song that is, I think is doing a really good job for itself as well right now. They came up with the idea and I sang the song. So that's another thing that we're working on. Maybe I might get a video for that too, but I don't want to just speak about everything and show it out there. But
no, most definitely. Listen, you got to speak it into existence. Okay, you've got the talent. You've got the determination. You've got the right people backing you. The ball is in your court and you've got to take it where you want to take it. Now, I'm going to ask you, you've been performing for quite a while. What has been your greatest experience so far performing and where was that? Because I know you do perform.
Wow. Live. Oh my God. Well, I would have to say that again, oh my God. I think that time when I had to perform in China. I think that was what was really amazing because I get to showcase me. I didn't have a group. I didn't have no one with me. I had to think about what I'm coming up with, putting my choreography together by itself and everything. So I think that was out of this world. I think I represented well. I think that was one of the best performance, maybe in terms of activity, in terms of program show. But in terms of other performances, I would say at the JIT or the gig or whatever, the place in the back at Cali's there, when I perform with what's his name, this Rasta guy who came to Grenada, the same stage with him. I think that was a really good opening eye for me as well. I had different places that I performed, but I would just say basically the one that really wowed me, where I really was represented and I felt like I really did something, was back in China, and that time at the JIT, Everton Blender. Yeah, when Everton Blender came here. Yeah. And also Akeem had Akeem and Friends that I was also a part of. Yeah, that was also really good. So I tell you, I think Akeem is one of the artists that really look out for other artists as well. You know, so I could speak on that. You know, I would always speak about people who really show me love in this way, you know, and I respect all who has been helping and supporting and giving me that forward. So, you know, I just want to thank God and bless them too as I go up, as they also go up, you know. Yeah, Mr. Kirk.
Listen, I just want to encourage you. You're inspiring me to think out of the box. You know, you've gotten into an industry that can be hard to break into, but I'm going to tell you, you've already done that. You've performed with some of the greats. You have the talent. I just want to encourage you to continue to be motivated. You know, don't be a stranger to the Wake Up Club. If someone wanted listening right now, or someone wanted to contact you, tell us about your social media handles and how you can be reached.
Right. So it's Clemelin Noel. You can always find me on any media platform because I try to, you know, showcase my stuff all over. So you can get me at TikTok, Miss Coco for Life, MISSCOCO, the number 4 LIFE, or you can just look for me as Clemelin Noel. If you look for me with my government name, you will find me. On IG, it's saying Miss Coco for Life. I try to go with the Miss Coco to keep my brand. So Miss Coco for Life, Miss Coco on YouTube. You could look at it as Miss Coco Music and Entertainment, or you look for Miss Coco the Grenadian Artist, however you want to put it. But Miss Coco, MISSCOCO, look for me on all media platforms. You will find me. Also, my music is distributed on all different media platforms as well. So if you're interested in my music, you know, shoot in, stream, look, leave a comment, like, share. That's part of supporting. It doesn't take you a lot to do for someone, you know, in terms of supporting them. Just a like, just a comment. And most of the time, what I realize, you get a lot of views, but you don't get the interaction. And that is something I feel like, why? And me personally, I support most everyone. Like Mr. Kirk, I can tell you, I'm one of the artists, I think, work with almost every artist in Grenada. I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. And in the industry too. Trust me on that.
Listen. Yeah, go ahead.
And so if you want to find me, Miss Coco for Life, MISSCOCO, the number 4 LIFE. You can always find me at IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. These are the main medias. To catch my music, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, name it, because my music is distributed anywhere. Basically, once it's hot, once it's good, the distribution just throw it anywhere, any platform.
Listen,
basically, that's music.
Your music definitely has a rhythm to it. It makes me want to dance. But before I leave, I know you're a dancer as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wow, the dancing part is a lot, Mr. Kirk. I get what? Listen, Kirk. You know, when I started my YouTube video, that is how I started it with the dancing. So I think I was the first female that ever went viral from doing a video, I think was Facebook video that went viral, right? The next time it was on Waterfed when I was performing for Short Tree. I don't know if you remember that. Miss Coco, that's the girl who's been performing for Short Tree a while now. They used to call me Short Tree Dancer. I've also did something for Alma Boy. Oh God, this music, this dancing thing. Watch, listen, I've danced for Macca Diamond as well because Floppy would have introduced me to Macca Diamond. And that was when her career was kind of at a low. And I actually was one of the person who danced and had her boost back. You know, I could tell you that. But again, I've been dancing ever since in school. That's my thing. Like they know Miss Coco like for her dancing. They know Miss Coco for her singing. They used to call me Miss BT. Like anything that happens on BT, anything that happens on Tempo, anything that happens on Caribbean Rhythm, listen, you can find it by me. That is it. And anyone, you can ask any one of my schoolmates, they will let you know that. I'm not capping, I'm not a bossy person. I don't even like to even talk about myself all this, you know, but it's reality. It's within me, and I think I wouldn't stop. I just feel like I just have to keep going and don't stop. Like the spirit just tell me like, why you can't give up now. Don't even let people stop you. Just go, do what you have to, keep pushing. And that's how I keep doing it. That's how I keep doing it, because I'm not, maybe sometimes I feel like I'm not strong enough for.
Listen, you're stronger than you think. Okay? Because number one, you are an inspiration to a lot of the young people in your district, in your area. You have the package, you've got the beauty, you've got the talent, you're a dancer, you've got the vocals, you've got the right people behind you. I just want you to have that determination to knock down all those doors. One door is going to open, okay? And when that door opens, you are going to make it big. And I want to remind you to remember your journey when you make it big. Remember Cook tell you that.
Yes.
Okay? Be able to be in a position to understand the other up and coming artists and give them the support you so desperately wish you had. On your, you've got the talent. I want to wish you all the success for the 2025 Spice Man season. And I love the fact
Thank you so much.
as you breaking out of the soca, so you're going to be exploring the reggae and all of that. So we're going to be hearing music from you consistently.
Oh, yes.
Seasonally. You know, I want to thank you for joining us on the Wake Up Club. It's a fantastic Friday. You know, keep pushing forward. Folks, we were chatting with Miss Coco. Make sure you find her music. Make sure you support her. You know, I said this program is about celebrating everyone. You know, not big wigs. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, let me just give a shout out to Mr. Desmond Batiste. I don't want to leave out Mr. Desmond Batiste, because without him, I think I wouldn't be like pushing myself with the music so much, because he has so much different ideas. And we've been working together for very, let's say about 3 years now. People may not know that because, you know, but I want to make mention of him, also known as DB Song, because he's the one I've been working with for the longest while, out of everything else, you know. So Mr. DB Song, Mr. Desmond Batiste, he's the one I've been working with, a producer who basically I do all my recordings at and so on. Even if I have to do for other music, I do at his place for recording and so on. On the side of that, you know, Impulse are basically I just want to make sure that I give air to the recordings and the people that I work with. If I missed out anybody, I'm very sorry, but I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I try my best to put things on the table. If y'all don't like something, leave a comment. I want to know. I don't want to feel like I'm always the best. There's nothing like that. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to understand where you're going wrong. But the thing is, I don't like people try to tell me how to put my thing when I've already arranged and put my work together. That is something we need to talk about otherwise, Mr. Kerr, but that's okay. Thank you so much, my dear.
To succeed in this life, you've got to have that determination. You've got to have that teachable heart. Okay? And once you have those things in the bag, you are going to be successful. Thank you again for joining us on the Wake Up Club. We'll see you here again soon. Folks,
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a fantastic Friday. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you reach out to nature, you rejuvenate yourself. And I want to remind you, Spice Mass is 8 weeks away. The hurricane season is 2 weeks away. Okay? Wind down low while you're picking up your vital supplies. Okay, and I want to encourage the authorities. Don't just wait for the season or you hear something coming up the road that we all go frantic. We need to educate our people because this is part of who we are. Okay, same way Spice Mass is part of the culture. We in the hurricane belt. Okay, so we need to be talking and preparing people, not just when something is happening, from the time the season starts. I want to wish you all a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a good one, folks. Bye.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams